29 of going live. If you're watching this as a replay, I go live every Sunday, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's a nice way for the subscribers to come on, ask questions, and I can also tour the entire dealership with you. So if you are watching this as a replay, definitely come back next week, and you do need to be just subscribed, I believe, to like leave comments and stuff. Also, if you want to see the comments from the subscribers, you know, when they ask questions, it usually takes about 24 hours. But if it's been that long, go down to the comment section. There'll be 2 dots, and then you just slide that to the side, and then you'll be able to see all the questions that people are asking me. Like I said, I usually go on at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, but today I was tied up with some customers, and of course customers are more important, so I was tied up with them. I always tell you guys, if I'm not live by 4, that means the live is canceled. Last week it was crazy windy, so I couldn't go live. You wouldn't have been able to hear me, but it's been a very busy Sunday, but I was excited to at least be able to get on and let you guys know I'm still alive. And then we could tour some of these units. I did do a video last week on the no slide, so we'll also go check that out, see if you guys have any questions. Like I said, we started a little later today because I was working with some customers, and of course that's how I make my living, so I gotta go help them first. Let me know if you can hear my audio. We are gonna jump on the golf cart. Usually these lives, we start with like a Catalina, you know, a traditional wood frame trailer, and then work our way up to more premium trailer. A lot of this stuff is repetitive if you jump on every week, but sometimes it's good. You know, you kind of learn when you continue to hear the same thing over and over again. I know that's how I am. So I also do this for the new subscribers I get about 200 subscribers. Awesome, the audio is good. Ginger is here. I hope the trailer is working out good for you, Ginger. But yeah, we're gonna tour the lot, show you some different options. Audio is good. Let me turn this around. We are in Deming, New Mexico. We didn't come your way, we came south. That is awesome though. Get some green chili while you're here. So we're gonna go tour some trailers. You know, I only have a little bit, like an hour, a little over an hour today, so we'll see if anyone jumps on. Like I said, I had customers at the time at 3, so I had to obviously help them first. Maybe they're watching. Also, Kevin, if you're watching, we'll talk as soon as I'm done with this. I didn't have time this morning because I had customers immediately when we got in. It's been a busy day. That's going to be the tough part is the summertime. You know, we get so busy, so I'm running back and forth like a crazy person. So when wintertime hits, I could do these every week with no issues because it's not as busy. But sometimes Sundays will be kind of busy, so I'll try to come on as much as I can. Let's see, which one is this? Let's check this bad boy out. Let's make sure I didn't miss any questions. All right. Hope you guys are doing good. You're going to be seeing me sweat from here on out because it is super hot now. Let's plug this bad boy in. All right. Yeah, I didn't come on last week, and it feels like I haven't done it in months. So used to doing it every week. So we are looking at a Catalina. I always start with these first and kind of work our way up. And now when you look at these, you know, the aluminum sided and the wood frame trailer, there is still levels to even a Catalina. So if we look over here to the left, this is going to be a Summit Series. If we look over here to the right, this is going to be a Legacy Edition. So with these brands, there's always upgrades, and a lot of times it's things that you don't really notice until you're actually out, you know, using it. So just for small little details, you see it doesn't have an electric tongue jack over here. You're actually getting auto level. You got a propane cover on this. Even your jacks are manual on this. As we go inside, let's check this layout out. This is a couples coach. I like this one a lot. You do get some upgrades on the Legacy. So this is going to be 28 feet. Focus, 28 feet, 3 inches, 6,400 pounds, 1,419 pounds. This is the Catalina 4.3 RBS. Now, as we walk in, nice big slide out. Now, in the Catalina Legacy, you will be getting, you know, solid surface countertops, whereas on the Summit Series, it's going to be thermofoil. But pretty much a lot of it is going to be the same. Looks like you do get an oven in this. All of these are going to be GE. So see, they'll all have that nice stainless steel look to it. Everything in RVs is a little bit smaller. Norman is in the house. Yeah, I missed a few tours so far. There are lives this Sunday, this past couple Sundays because of the weather and just being busy. I even came on a little late today because I was having to work with some customers. But really nice floor plan. You know, it is a rack and pinion slide system, so it's nice and flush with the floor right there. There's no step up. And then nice big windows on the campsite. But it's always a compromise. You know, these windows don't open, so it's always a give and take. Do you want bigger windows or do you want smaller ones that open? You can still get that nice cross breeze going. 15,000 BTU air conditioner with the heat pump in it. I say this every week, I am very impressed with these GE air conditioners. They are quieter than like the ones even in Flagstaff, NOBO. I don't know why it is, but they seem to be a lot quieter. And the cool thing is the heat pump will actually heat this area. In the wintertime when I do tours on these, I could kick that on and, you know, within like 45 minutes, it'll be nice and toasty in here. And of course, it'll still have the gas furnace. If we open this right here, you got a pretty decent sized bathroom. I always have to show this sign. Yes, we have people that actually come and use the bathroom in these, which is crazy. How's it going? I'm back alive. Let's see, pretty nice. You got a sink, corner shower right there. And of course, got the small fart fan in these Catalinas. You can always upgrade those if you wanted to. This does have a tankless water heater. And I always tell you guys, that is awesome, Ginger. Ginger actually just bought a little Catalina from me. And she said that she had to turn her AC off because it was getting so cold. So that is really good to hear. She's in Arizona too. She is in Arizona and she had to turn her air conditioner off because it got so cold. So I'm telling you, those air conditioners work really good. Very good to see you, Kelly. Glad I could jump on and just at least say hi to you guys. It's kind of a bummer when I can't jump on. I feel like my week wasn't finished all the way up. But a lot of little things that they will not do, like on the Summit series, they won't do shower surroundings, little things that you won't notice. We can add all that stuff. I'm pretty sure we had to add that to Ginger's trailer. She had one, it didn't have the shower surrounding, but we added it. I think it was like $300 or so. It does have a fireplace in here. So with the heat pump and the fireplace, you are easily going to be able to heat up this whole area without having to waste any propane. Nice 60 by 80 queen size bed. This thing is already wired for Starlink right over there. Pretty neat. We use Starlink at the dealership. For the whole dealership, it's pretty good service because you don't have towers going in and out. But overall, nice layout. We'll check the pricing on this. You got 42 down to 33,995. Let's just go check out a Summit series just to kind of check the differences. Oh yeah. Yeah, see? I gave it to Ginger. She flew all the way out here from Arizona. So cool. It's fun when I get to meet you guys. The people that were just here, they're from YouTube also. So I did show you the price on that one. Let's check out a Summit series just to compare the pricing. Even like your wheels, they're like not as fancy, you know? Don't have that cool look to them. This is a 24 though, so it is gonna be a little different. This is 5,200 pounds, 25 feet, 11 inches, and 2,200 pounds. 221 MKE. Now, when we come into this, still very similar, but it does not have, you know, solid surface countertops. It does not have an oven. This is an older model, so it does have the gas electric fridge, but usually you'll get the 12-volt fridge. We're just going to peek through this real quick because I want to show you the price difference. But overall, hey, David, it's pretty much the same. So we will see if it's worth it to you. So that one, I think I said it was 33 for a 2026. This is a 24 for 27,995. Now that it might seem like a big increase, but when you finance these, they go up to 15 years. So, you know, sometimes spending a little bit extra, you know, it's not going to change your payment a whole lot. But nice layout. So is it worth it for the solid surface countertops, auto level, fancier wheels, and see, these are manual. So there's a lot of little things that you sometimes won't notice until you are actually out using it. All right, let's move on. I finally got that no slide Flagstaff the other day, which is such a nice layout. We will go to it here in just a bit. All right, we are good to go. Let's check out another floor plan. So that'll be your Catalinas. Like I said, these are all your traditional wood framed and aluminum sided, and I forgot to show you an example of that. So we'll check this out real quick. So when it's wood framed, it's very simple to see. You just kind of open the compartment and you can see it's all wood framed. Not bad. It is going to be a little bit heavier, but there's pros and cons to both. Once we move to like a Flagstaff over here, this is going to be, you know, your aluminum framed and your fiberglass. Let's go check out this layout. And I'll explain the benefits of both, because sometimes, you know, the traditional built trailer has some advantages when it's not a laminated wall like this. This is a really nice layout right here. Let's see if I can get this out with one hand. Come on. There we go. All right, and you will need a 7-way plug whenever you buy a trailer. That will charge your batteries, you know, work your brake controller when you're going down the road. Now you will get charged a lot. You'll be charged more at the dealership if you have them install that 7-way plug. But I would recommend going through the dealership because, you know, if you go to U-Haul, it's going to be very cheap, but sometimes they don't put the charge line, and that's what's going to charge your batteries. So just keep that in mind. Just make sure they add the charge line. But now if we look underneath, all aluminum framed. And you got to be careful with this because a lot of companies, you know, they'll put a sticker on the side and it'll say aluminum framed. This is a true 6-side aluminum frame trailer, meaning the roof, floor, front wall, back wall, both side walls are all aluminum. Let's go inside of this bad boy right here. It's not super hot yet, but it's getting there. Whew. 253 RLS. This is going to be 31 feet 9 inches, 6,700 pounds, and your cargo is 1,037. Woo, I'm already starting to sweat. I take that back. This is a nice layout. This is like the 26 SRD. Actually, it's like the no slide Flagstaff. We'll go to that one next. So you'll notice this is very similar, but it does have a slide out. Now on the no slide one, it'll actually come up to the couch will be sitting right at the dinette. But nice layout. As we move up, you know, you're gonna get, I don't think Furrion or, you know, why am I forgetting the name of it? The other brand, I don't think it's better than Furrion. Ooh, I'm sweating. I think that's why I'm stuttering a little bit. Now, when we move up to this level of trailer, you still are getting, you know, thermofoil countertops. So sometimes the Legacy, you kind of get a lot for the price. Like on that Legacy, you got solid surface countertops. These will be thermofoil as well. And then your cabinetry also is going to be like a wrapped material. And this is a good example. I have never seen Surveyor cabinetry peel. And this will be good coming on the lives each week because you'll be able to see, you know, how the cabinetry is holding up. Because a lot of times in the summertime, the changing and, you know, weather, it starts to peel your cabinetry when it's paper wrapped or a wrapped material. But I haven't seen it so far on a Surveyor. You got a nice big area for your pantry right here. And your 12-volt refrigerator. Now, remember I said pretty much they've outphased the gas electric fridges. So that is definitely something you want to consider when you're buying an RV now. Some of these, like the Summit series or some of these other trailers, you do need to have, you know, maybe solar to trickle charge those batteries because these do run off 12-volt versus gas electric. Now, me personally, I like these 12-volt fridges because they cool so fast. Like usually the gas electric, you have to put it on the night before. You know, you go on a camping trip, this will be cold, you know, going down the road. Like 10, 15 minutes, you'll start feeling it get colder. And plus, there's no metal coils back there, so it's a lot deeper. Not to mention those gas electric fridges, they're like $3,500. These are like roughly $1,500. So if you ever had to replace one, that is always a plus. And obviously the manufacturer did it too because it's probably cheaper for them as well. But not bad fridges. You got a middle bathroom. So if you have a guest and your significant other wants to shower, you know, they don't have to walk through the bathroom or through the whole trailer to get to the bedroom. Got a 60 by 80 queen and 2 air conditioners. Now I'm just doing this to show you guys. A lot of you guys jump on every week, so you know, but for the new people, remember this. See how this is all wood? I said it was aluminum frame, 6-sided, but your dinette under your beds, if this had bunks, it'll just be wood. And if you look, it's just, you know, thin sheet of wood right there. But as we get up in price and brands, you'll notice that that will change. So little subtle details in these trailers where they kind of, you know, try to save on cost. You know, you got to imagine if they don't put, you know, like a ladder on the bunks in one of these trailers across thousands of trailers that they sell every year, it's going to save them a lot of money at the manufacturer. You got your fireplace right here, just like the last one. It does have this vacuum system. This is pretty neat. You do need to be plugged in for it, but it's got a dustpan. You got your hoses that kind of hook on right there. This will have a PVC roof, which isn't a bad roof, but I feel like all of them are pretty much dialed in now. Flagstaff has one of the best roofs, and I'll talk about their roof later on. I didn't know how good their roof was until like 2 years ago. I did a little more research on it, and I'm very impressed with Flagstaff's roof. Hey, Kevin, I was just talking about you. I said, if Kevin's on here, I'm going to call you as soon as I'm done. That's why I'm late today, is because I had a customer as soon as I got in. But once I get off, if you want to chat, I'll give you a call. If you have any questions, Kevin is looking at the no slide Flagstaff, which I was going to go to next, because it's the same floor plan as this, but no slide out. Super cool. And I don't know, the no slide is kind of nice. Now, when we do move up to the Surveyor, you are getting the 12-volt heat pads. Ooh, turn that off. So there's heat pads on all your tanks, fresh gray and black, whereas on the Catalinas, they did not have this. So this is a nice option. I prefer the 12-volt heat pads over the, you know, just the heated underbelly, because you can't keep your heater running while you're going down the road. With those, you know, you just flip a switch, and then, you know, they'll keep your tanks from potentially freezing. But nice layout overall. This does not have that vaulted ceiling like a Flagstaff. It's just a flat roof, which it doesn't really make a difference. The Surveyor will have higher ceilings. Exactly. No slide issues. Now, I always tell people, you know, these slides are pretty good when they're the rack and pinion slide system, but I definitely wouldn't tell you that they're like 100% perfect. So this is going to be a rack and pinion slide system, also known as a through frame slide. So it's actually going through the frame of the trailer. This is a nice slide system because you could put it out partially. So if you need to get to a certain area of the trailer and you don't have the space, you could put it out just a little bit and get through. Whereas like a Schwintek slide, you have to put it out completely or put it in completely. And being that this is on the driver's side, if you're going down the highway and you need to put your slide out a little bit, that's going to be a lot more helpful than, well, that's pretty dangerous. I don't think you should do that. But my one Surveyor is I wish they would put this water heater in the back so that way you get a bigger storage door. It don't make no sense right there. That must have to do with the space of this. Now, talking about the benefits of, you know, your aluminum sided, and a lot of you guys have heard this already, versus the the fiberglass. The nice thing about these more traditionally built trailers is it's a hung wall. It's literally like a house. It is not a laminated wall. So it'll just be the aluminum sided, your bad insulation, your wood framing, and then your inner walls. So delamination is something you always have to consider when you are looking at a laminated wall. And basically that means that your walls are separating, and then you start getting like the bubbling and the ripples and all that stuff in your walls. That's an indication that you could have water damage as well. But with these, you won't get hail damage. Whereas on you know, the aluminum sided, you could potentially get hail damage. The other benefit of those is there's individual panels. So if you damage a portion of it, you could just replace that one piece. Whereas on, you know, fiberglass, a lot of times they have to fix the entire wall. Now, I'll talk about how these companies actually help, you know, help to not get delamination, because there's a lot of ways that they build these trailers, but I'll talk about it on the next one that we go to. Now, I had a question from Kevin. What is the main difference between the 2026 Rockwood FKT versus the 30 FK 301? I haven't seen the Rockwood. I didn't see that. I thought it said Flagstaff. So Flagstaff and Rockwood are the exact same brand, just different decals. But with that being said, there is still some little things that people don't know from the manufacturing side of these trailers. So yes, they are the same exact trailer, but for like every 10 Rockwoods, there's like 2 Flagstaffs. Like Flagstaff doesn't put as many out as Rockwood does. And I would like to think that maybe that helps with the quality control as well. The other thing is there's a certain plant that you will want to get your Flagstaffs or Rockwoods from. I think there's a plant in Mississippi, and then there's one in Millersburg, Indiana. Millersburg, Indiana, it'll actually be built by the Amish. So I'd like to think also, you know, maybe they might be building it a little bit better. So you'll know when it's Millersburg, Indiana, because on the couches, I'll show you real quick. The couches, it'll say Millersburg. It'll have like a little sticker. So if you want to get the one that's built by the Amish, if we go in here, see if we come down here, it'll say Millersburg Collection. So that's how you'll know it's coming from the Millersburg plant. Pretty cool. Rick is in the house. Hi, Kim. Rick and Kim are here from Ohio. That is awesome. I love it. So when we go to this no slide Flagstaff, it won't have that. I think the text took it off, but all of our Flagstaffs will be made in Millersburg, Indiana, which is the Mecca. Indiana is the Mecca of RVs. Let's see here. I got a question coming up. Let's pop into this one real quick, because this was the most requested trailer this year, and I thought that video was going to go insane. I think it took me so long to get this floor plan. I had a customer earlier that really liked this. They were looking for something that was 25 feet so the wife could tow it. And then I knew it. I was like, when I show you this one, she's probably gonna be fine with the 30 foot. Oh, this layout is so nice. So we are going up from a microlight to a superlight. And the one thing I love about Flagstaff is it doesn't matter which brand or level you go with. Sorry, I'm fixing my camera. You are gonna get the same quality of construction throughout. The small difference from a microlight to a superlight is really just the auto level. You're getting auto level on this. Lots of storage underneath. So remember when I showed you the aluminum framing on the Surveyor? Of course, this is 6-side aluminum frame, meaning the roof, floor, front wall, back wall, both side walls are all aluminum. But of course, Flagstaff has to go up above everybody, do that extra stuff, and I'll show you once we go inside. But man, that's a massive storage area. If you have grandkids and you don't want to have wasted space, just buy one of the big storage container or storage area, throw a bed down here, and then just wha-bam! Just kidding. It's a drunk tank for when the uncle's acting crazy. So 30 RDT. This thing is a beauty. We are looking at 6,178 pounds and 29 feet 8 inches. That weight is awesome for this size of unit. I had a question. Let me see. Do you see a correlation between the number of units produced each day and build quality? Do you see a correlation between the number of units produced each day, build quality? I know during like COVID, man, avoid buying a trailer used if it's during that COVID time, because they were not built the same as like now and before COVID. The quality, you know, they were just slapping any AC on there if they didn't have enough. You know, they'd come in with not off-road tires when it should, you know, so they were pumping them out like crazy. Now, bringing that up, the cool thing is Flagstaff did not do that. They sacrificed a lot of sales during COVID. This is coming from my factory rep. He said they actually lost a great deal of, you know, profit because they didn't want to sacrifice the quality of of their brand that they've been building up for over 50 years. So I did like when I heard that. Example, the more units cranked out, the lower the build. That's exactly what, yeah, that's what I was meaning with like Rockwood versus Flagstaff. Rockwood pumps out way more trailers than a Flagstaff, even though they are the same, like basically sister brands. But check this layout out. It's got the U-shaped dinette in the back. It's got 7-foot 2-inch interior ceilings. I think that's 86, is that right? That's a no-slide Flagstaff trailer, yep. And if you notice, this is the exact same layout as the trailer we were just in with a Surveyor. It is 2 feet shorter, but remember the slide basically was right here. And so mainly your couch is just pushed up a little further. It's right up against the dinette area, but it's not bad. I really like this. You know, it's all just like one box. You don't have a slide where there's a gasket or the rubber, you know, gasket on the outside. You can still like push that back and see into the trailer sometimes on some of these. So there's really no way, as long as you take care of your seals and everything on these, that anything bad should really happen, because it's just, there's no slide. So once we move up to this solid surface countertops, whereas on the Surveyor, it was that thermofoil real wood cabinetry throughout. So when I say that, it's the front facing cabinetry, just the front facing. Of course, this is going to be a little different. A lot of sales guys will say real wood cabinetry, but it's the front facing, which most people do. Magic Chef appliances throughout. And I don't know, is Magic Chef better than Furrion? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But this will turn into a bed as well. So the last customer I was with, they were like, yeah, we have grandkids that will come, you know, occasionally, but we don't want to have like a bunk. And I was like, this is perfect, because you could sleep an adult there. It is long enough. Now, when we come around over here, I'll try to turn you real slow. We walk into this area, and finally, they're using their brain and they're putting a place to put a trash can. That is like the one thing I get asked all the time is, where do I put the trash can? You got your 10 cubic foot, 12 volt refrigerator right here. And like I said, man, they just cool really fast. Like I can already feel it. I could feel it already getting cold. Yeah, I want to see that new microlight. The trash can was the, yep. Really though, like they never give you a good spot for it. And I'll show you the pricing and everything and explain it to you guys. Just so that way, if you are new here, I talk about it every week with the pricing. If there's someone here that's new, I don't want them to think something differently. So you got a middle bathroom right here again. Nice big shower. You are getting the shower miser right here. This is an awesome feature. So instead of that vacuum you got on the Surveyor, you got this. And you guys let me know what you would prefer. This is nice because the one place you waste a lot of water is when you're going to take a shower and you don't have full hookups. Because you sit there, you're waiting for that water to get hot, and it's just going straight into the gray tank. With this, you push this down, and you can see there's a little circle. It's going to circulate through the lines. This will turn a grayish color, kind of like how it is because the sun's hitting it. And then you know it's hot. Then you flip it up, and bam, you saved water. Yeah, shower miser. I guess it depends too. Like if you're someone that's mainly at campgrounds, maybe the vacuum would be better, you know, if you have full hookups. I want to know how they can do it on all of the faucets. That would be genius. So pretty nice. 2 air conditioners. We order these fully loaded too. Like the one thing we don't add to these is the slide toppers, and that's just because we don't want them to tear when you're going down, or because we get a lot of wind here. Now, remember when I lifted that Surveyor, it was a thin sheet of wood. Oh, bam, look at that. All aluminum framed. And they go even further with the dinette and everything. They aluminum frame everything. And I've seen this stuff crack. You know, you can imagine, like on that Surveyor, it's just a thin, you know, sheet of wood, plywood. And then some companies will use OSB board, which now I'm saying it correctly thanks to you guys. You even got that race car underglow on your sink. And I love the storage in every area of this trailer. Great storage. Floor to ceiling storage for all those bathroom essentials. Decent amount of floor space in here. If you are new here, first of all, leave a comment. I love when I hear that I got new people on, but also this is not how I do my normal tours. You know, a lot of you guys could say it. I go super in depth on my normal tours. I literally measure everything out. I even measured right here for you guys, just so you could see how much space you got. Nice big dinette. And of course, I like to talk about this. Tyler, what's the solar like on that trailer? So Flagstaff, it'll come standard with 200 watts of solar and an 1800 watt inverter. Now, hopefully they're not watching this, because they're probably going to get super annoyed with me saying this. Oh, am I sweating yet? Oh. They do make a power package. Yeah, I'll say it, I don't care. They make a power package, and it is like $8 grand or something crazy. It will run everything. It'll run your air conditioners. I personally am not a fan of it. I kind of advise people to just not do it. I had sold it once, and it was on a NOBO. And I just repeated what the rep told me, you know, and the lady was actually going to be living in it. So she needed, you know, her air conditioner to work and everything. But she was trying to run literally everything. And it only lasted like 2 hours, 3 hours. And I felt so bad. I literally got her a generator because I felt like such an idiot. So now I have a thing against the power package. I just know the solar just isn't what people make it seem. The way to go is just get a generator. That's honestly the way to go. But the inverter and the solar on this is nice because a lot of your outlets are actually hot. So if you have a CPAP machine, or even right here, you can see it. It's hard to tell. That little sticker up there says inverter circuit. So if it says inverter circuit, all of your plugs will actually be tied into the inverter. Now, talking about pricing, I'll turn you around so you can make fun of me. So I explain this every week, so I'm sorry for those of you that come on every week. But basically, there's two ways that dealerships price trailers out. I've worked at both of them. It always washes out to the same. Actually, the dealership that hides the prep and freight makes more off of you. But there's two ways. So dealerships, there's a local one here where they say no hidden fees, and then they hide the prep and freight into the price. And I can prove an example of this. Like if you go to their website, you could print off the MSRP sheet, and then they will literally have it handwritten freight on there. And theirs is like $4 grand or something crazy, and you have no idea that you're paying for it. And then there's dealerships like us and a lot of other ones around the country where they'll add prep and freight to the price. Now, I forgot my little sheet. Usually when you come in to buy a trailer from me, we'll sit down first and I'll show you all of the pricing. That way when you come out here, you're not surprised or anything like that. So we're doing it a little backwards. You just got to trust me on this because I forgot my sheet. But we add prep and freight, whether you're looking online or if you're here looking at it in person. A lot of times when it's online, you know, it's just the price of the trailer. If we don't have it, we can't really, you know, we'd have to add the prep and freight. So this right here is the price, and then you'll add $17.95 for the prep, and then you'll add, it's $4 grand for the freight roughly. I think it's a little more, but the owner here pays a portion of it, so she usually cuts it in half. So $19.95 across all the trailers. It doesn't matter. And the nice thing about her here is the gas prices have gone up so crazy that the pricing on Flagstaff microlights has increased a lot. And I'll tell you how much they've gone up because I just did a special order for someone in California, and they wanted a different one that was a different color scheme, and the price was so much more. She said it's fine. You know, she wanted to see the price on the one we had here. So you'll add $17.95, $19.95, and then we discount everything super heavy here. So we have over about almost 15 grand in discounts to your sell price, and then you can get our sales tax without having a physical address here. A lot of people come here for that reason. So we have what's called the Sunshine Law. Make it simple because I talk about it in all my videos, but you can get our sales tax, which is 4%, without having an address here. It'll still be registered to your physical address, so there's no discrepancies with insurance or anything like that. And then the other cool thing is you can continue to re-register here every single year. And the reason you'd want to do that is because the cost to register it is based off of the dry weight, whereas most states are the purchase price. So something like this, I quoted Kevin a price on this a while back, or a couple days ago. I think the registration was coming out to like 36 bucks next year for him to do that. Super cheap. Whereas like in Arizona, something like this would probably be like 800 bucks. So you're going to continue to save every year and then on the initial taxes, and then of course with how much we discount them. This thing has been here 3 days, and look at how much we've already discounted it. So we are a high volume dealership. Let's see, I got a question. I just like to tell you about the pricing, so as we look at other stuff, you know, we can, you're not confused. Hey, Diane, you're on the road. Yeah, I had to jump on and say hi. I was so consistent. I want to make sure I keep coming. Now on this one, you will get a vaulted ceiling, so it's rounded up here. I feel like even the flat roofs are, well, maybe not. I feel like if it is rounded, it'll help with maybe the rain and snow coming off. You know, it won't be pulling up there. Solar is better, but you have to have a hefty system. Exactly, Ginger. Yeah, it's ridiculous how much it would cost to have to like be able to run everything. Now on the Flagstaffs, they have 12-volt heat pads, but they are actually, yeah, exactly, Norman. Keep that math simple. It makes people really realize how much. Like in Arizona, they get up to 11.9%. But imagine if it's just 8%. You're going to be spending an extra $4,000 on $100,000. It's a big savings. So right here, these 12-volt heat pads on the Flagstaffs are actually smart heat pads. So they'll go on automatically and off on their own. Whereas on the Surveyor, you have to do it yourself. And then also you're getting a 12-volt TV on this, so it'll run anytime. And of course, it's got the apps all ready to go. You got some YouTube, so when you're ready to start looking to trade your trailer in, you can watch Tyler Talks Travel Trailers. Overall, really nice layout. I was impressed with this. And at first, I was actually going to try to convince Kevin to the FKT, but what he told me was when you're camping, you know, you're backing into an area and you want to have that view in the back. And I told the customer that earlier that I was looking at it, and they're like, that's literally what we always buy is this back. They want the back windows because when you're hanging out, you know, you can have that door open, kicking back versus the kitchen, you know, you're not going to be sitting on the countertops. And then we'll check out the storage. I really like these steps. These steps, see how it has a gas strut? Not all the Surveyors and NOBOs do this, but look at that. Woo! They hold themselves up. I say it every week. That is 60 pounds of metal, and you do not want to drop that on the grandchild or the poodle. You are getting a torsion axle on this, meaning that it's an automotive grade independent suspension. Versus the leaf spring, it's going to help the frame of the trailer long down the road. I always say it's like a hurricane, earthquake, and tornado all happening at once when you're driving these things down the road. So you got to imagine how much is that going to help the longevity of the trailer. You know, you hit a big pothole or something, it's going to absorb a lot of that stress. One thing that they do not even advertise or show on this little guide right here is the brakes on this. And I think it's important. So a lot of people don't know this. You're supposed to adjust your brakes after, I think, like 250 miles. And when I say this, I don't want you to be scared. I've honestly never heard anyone do that. Maybe they do, but you're supposed to adjust your brakes after like 200 miles, 250 miles. These are made by Dexter, and they are never adjust brakes. So you never have to adjust them. They self-adjust. They say it increases stopping power significantly. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's one of those things you don't know if it's working. Or like you wouldn't want to know it's not working. Well, how am I trying to say it? You just don't know if it's helping because maybe it is helping because if, you know, when you're going down a mountain or anything, it's helping you get down the mountain, stopping. I don't know. I haven't heard anyone adjust brakes, but it's cool that they do have that. And then you're getting a Goodyear Endurance tire. Yeah. You sold me on this one more after you kind of explained it to me, Kevin, because I do like that front kitchen. It's just, it is nice to be able to sit at a dinette and see around the whole way. It's kind of nice. Now, remember I lifted that front bed, how it's aluminum, and then on a Surveyor, it's wood. Even the dinettes are wood, whereas on a Flagstaff, everything is aluminum. Check it out. All aluminum framed. Now, I constantly get customers. Ooh, check it out. No slide out. Let's check out this real quick. Look at this storage. I really like how they did this. No shortage of storage. Now, there is ways that this fiberglass trailer could be cheaper, and it's something you don't know unless the sales guy knows. And I always get this all the time. You know, I get customers, they'll come in and they'll be like, I can get a smooth-sided trailer for like $5 grand less. And I said, yeah, but how is it constructed? And they don't know because the salesperson probably didn't know. There's two ways that they kind of compress these walls together to laminate them. So they use pinch and roll, which is just running it through a press. Then they use vacuum bonding, where they suck all the air out of the walls. And basically, it's going to be a lot more consistent than the pinch and roll. And I always say it, it's like, you know, they do have to change those rollers out over time. And what if your wall is the last one to go, you know, through that roller? It's not as consistent. There could be pockets of air still trapped in the walls. And that's when you start getting delamination. This is a vacuum bonded wall. So is a Surveyor, and so is a NOBO. Now, this company does a lot of things to really help with delamination, because that is one of the biggest concerns with these fiberglass trailers. Now, I'm too scared now to get on the roof. I feel like I'm gonna fall one of these days. But the other way Flagstaff helps with delamination is a lot of times the delamination starts from your roof. Gravity, you know, the water starts trickling down, and that's because you have to scrape and reseal your roof every so often. I'm not sure how often, but like with the sun we get here, you know, it's important. So basically you got to scrape all of that sealant off on the roof. It's kind of hard to see it from here, but basically anywhere you see like a max air vent, the ladder where it's put on, that sealant, what happens is it gases out and then it starts to flatten, or it'll start to crack, or all of those things. And then that's when you have water getting into those cracks, and then it gets into your walls, and then you start having water damage and delamination. Flagstaff uses a sealant. The technology has gotten really good with this sealant, and apparently it's not solvent based. So it does not gas out, it doesn't flatten, crack. It is a no maintenance roof, and it has a lifetime warranty. So that right off the bat really tells me that this trailer is meant to last as long as you want it to, because you do not need to scrape and reseal it. I do recommend still getting up there and looking, making sure, you know, the membrane and TPO doesn't have a tear or anything, but that is huge. Okay, so let's talk about it. So you got vacuum bonded to help with the delamination. You have the sealant lifetime warranty roof, and then the third way they help with delamination is going to be the composite walls. So all of you guys have seen my videos, you know, they do the Luan behind this fiberglass. That's just a thin sheet of wood. Now imagine if you had that sealant that was cracking and gassed out, then you get that water in there, and then it's hitting that Luan and wood. It just starts to deteriorate. That's when it starts to get moldy, and then that's when you start getting delamination. Flagstaff double layers with a composite material that is waterproof. So you got your outer wall that is composite, and then you got your inner wall that is composite. So you can always see the composite material. So all these little things this is why Flagstaff is one of my favorite brands to sell, because I'm confident when people buy them, it's gonna hold up. But so a lot of things that they help with delamination. You got the sealant, you got the double layered composite walls, and you got the vacuum bonding. Three things that are really gonna help the longevity of the trailer, you know, because these are all in the elements. They're most of the time, unless you have like a massive garage. But I just like to explain that because, and it's kind of a bummer because a lot of times it's not the customer not wanting a better trailer. They just don't want to spend money on something they don't know. Like they don't know that these trailers are built differently. You know, all they see is that the price is less, but it looks the same. So a lot of times it's the sales guy that's not doing a good job explaining it. Because there's nothing wrong with the Luan or the, you know, pinch and roll method, but some people want this to be like their last trailer. So when you go to dealerships, just ask them how it's built, 6-side aluminum framing, all that good stuff, if that's something you want. Because this level of trailer isn't for everyone. If you're just a weekend warrior, you know, definitely. Hey, David. We are now at 9 months till we can have you order a trailer. Can't wait. That is awesome, David. I think you were interested in this one too, weren't you? No, oh, when you were here, you saw the FKT and you didn't know if you wanted to go that big. But this one's pretty nice. Really exciting, David. You've been here for a while. It's gonna suck when you get one. You're not gonna be coming on the lives no more. That's what's been happening. I've been selling so many trailers to subscribers. It's like I got to know you and met you, and then you buy one from me, and then it's just sayonara. Tim from Knoxville in the house. It's all right. I'm late too. I had a customer, which is more important. So let's see. All right, we are looking for a couple's trailer with an enclosed underside, separate bedroom, and no slide under 26. Oof. They make one. I just don't have one. It's a Flagstaff. One of you guys might know the layout that I'm talking about. NOBO 29.0 or 20.2. Man, I say it every week. I don't know what it is. I cannot memorize the NOBO floor plans. It's so difficult. All right. If you're new here, leave a comment. I'm curious if we got any new people in here. Ooh, let me show you this fifth wheel I just got in. I'm telling you, this is smoking though. I'm excited for it. Let's turn you around. This thing is immaculate on the inside. We'll just peek in it real quick. So I think this one was from 48 down to 38. It's hard to tell because I don't have the lights on. But this thing is so clean. Look, he was so particular with everything. He even put noodles on the side so he wouldn't scratch the chairs when they're going down the road. But really nice layout. If you're looking for a used fifth wheel, this thing was well taken care of. And he also put a new awning on it when he brought it in. It's got a fireplace, big old flat screen TV, and solid surface countertops, gas electric fridge. Pretty nice. I'm just gonna run through this real quick just in case. I think most of you guys are looking for tow behinds, but let's see what Grand Design does under their bed. Oh, would you look at that? See? That's what I'm explaining. And Grand Designs are not cheap. I'm telling you, I get so many people that are like shocked when I tell them a Flagstaff is gonna be a little bit better. But nice layout, 38,995, or maybe it was 37,995, one of those. All right, let's check out some more units. And again, I'm going to beg for a little bit. If I have deserved it or you've gotten any benefit out of my videos, which thank you, Kevin, for your review. You have no idea how much it helps me. If we come down here and you want to type in the hardest city ever to spell ALBUQUERQUERV, and leave a 5-star review. If you're going to leave a 1-star, please don't look at that. Yeah, Ginger got one. She's in Arizona. I'm really happy that that AC is working good for you. But yeah, if I've deserved it, if you could jump on, takes 5 minutes. You have no idea. Honestly, it also helps with the owner seeing that this is working, because I am taking time to do this versus helping customers. So if you could do that, it goes a long way. Let's see. I've got a question. Thank you, Kevin. I'll shoot you a message. You call me whenever this afternoon with any questions you had. I wanted to call you when I got in this morning, but I had a bunch of customers come in. But we'll talk soon. All right. Whoa, getting close. You can see my boogers, nose hairs. All right. Again, if you are new here, leave a comment. I'm curious if we got any new people on. We do, like I said, we do have what's called the Sunshine Law, so you can get our sales tax without having a physical address here. And our sales tax is 4%. Like Norman said, if you're spending 100 grand and it's only 4 grand versus most is 8%, so you'd be spending 8 grand. You could continue to re-register it here, which is going to be, you know, $40 a year to re-register depending on the weight. And yeah, I can order you a unit too. We'll go check out this NOBO real quick, but I can order you one and I'll still discount it a lot. It doesn't matter if it's factory fresh. I'll still give you guys a really good deal. All right, let's turn this around real quick. I think they're still working on this. They are doing an inspection because I just sold it to someone. Which one is this? 20.6. I just sold it. They're gonna be picking it up in a couple days, all the way from California. How sweet is that? I never thought my videos would reach that far. Now you do have the beast mode suspension on this. Look at that thing. Holy smokes. Good luck, Kevin. Oh, that's funny. So beast mode suspension. Yeah, I tell people really think about the camping you're gonna do, because sometimes I think this might be overkill for some people. You know, if you're just going to KOAs, campsite to campsite, going up the Pacific Northwest, nice smooth roads, do you really need this suspension? I do, because I'm crazy and I like to go super off-road. But for some people, you know, you don't need those big rugged tires. You know, you're gonna get better fuel mileage with a road tire. So I'd really think about the camping you do. A lot of times people will get an RV and they just want like the most intense trailer. This does have the green machine. Check this out. We got the taco stand. A lot of you guys still come into the dealership calling it that. And I think everyone's starting to say it now. It's pretty neat though. This glows. You even have some nice little, what do you call these again? For your drinks? Oh, I'm all shaky. This is the 20.6, I'm sorry. I don't think I have the 20.9. This is 29 feet 9 inches and 6,979 pounds with the beast mode. Yeah, this is a cool trailer. Yeah, they're working on it right now. That's why all the shelves or cabinets are open. But remember I said Flagstaff, I think the interior Flagstaffs can be constructed a little better, because if you look, see it's got the thermofoil countertops, which is not bad. I always tell you guys the one thing you would want to avoid is the T-molding. I used to sell Shasta and they'd put T-molding around the countertops, and then what happens is the water gets in where that crack is, and then you start having warped cabinetry. So thermofoil isn't bad. It is just the T-molding I would avoid. But look at this. How cool is that? This table slides right into this countertop, and then you have a bar area. And they listened to all of you guys that have been here that long. They used to do the black shade on the top, which made no sense. That way, if you want to put it up a little bit and still have some privacy, nice big flat screen TV. I think these people said they're just retiring now, and they're gonna hit the road. I'm really excited for them. You got your fireplace. I say it. I've been saying it like for the last month since we've seen these layouts. Flagstaff better start stepping it up with some new stuff. Like, they're gonna get left behind if they aren't going to do this cool table. You know, the bar. Sometimes Flagstaff plays it a little too safe, in my opinion. So hopefully they will start to try to do different stuff for people. The guy that's buying this, he's like, can we get it without the wallpaper? I'm like, man, this is cool. You got Cowboy Dan, Lassie, a snake, a cabin, a bunny. He didn't want that. But not bad. Decent amount of floor space. The shower is a little bit smaller in this one. These are going to have 6'10" interior ceilings, whereas the Flagstaff, like I said, is going to be 6'8". Not a bad bed. This is a 60 by 80, so it is a true queen. And if we lift this, see, it is the wood. Like I said, even the dinettes are like that. Just some small stuff. Okay. Let's see. I had a text message. I think that was Kevin texting me. A lot of you guys have my number. Ginger was even texting me. I have to read it after. If you need my number, I already told the receptionist you can give out my cell phone number. You could call me, text me. I have people texting me all the time. A lot of you guys have my personal cell. If you need help, just call. I am more than happy to help. Summertime, I do get a little busy. And I noticed there is some comments and messages I need to get to. For some reason, Instagram and Facebook, it will send it to a request. And I know James, he might not be on here, but he's been here forever. And I saw that he messaged me like 4 days ago, so I feel really bad. But just know if I don't get back to you on some of those different platforms, that's why, because the messaging is a little bad. Also, my email, my personal email, I'm a little bad with. Kevin had to try to contact me 3 different ways, and that was my fault. So that's why I just give out my personal cell. It's so much easier. Woo! All right, what do you guys want to see? Flagstaff, microlight, Catalina, anything you want to see, any questions you have. Glad I was able to make it on today. Ooh, this little E-Pro is awesome that they came out with this year. A lot of you guys have seen it, but let's check it out. Turn around, where is it? There it is. Ooh. Bam. It's my Friday. I'm gonna put you down real quick because I have my tape broke off. It's my Friday. I'm gonna go home, run, and then enjoy a cold snack. You know what I mean? I just run so I can drink beer. All right, this is cool. So like I told you guys, Flagstaff gives you the same quality of construction. It don't matter if you go with an E-Pro or a Classic. The one difference from an E-Pro to a Classic is that the E-Pro will not have an enclosed underbelly, but it will still have the 12-volt heat pads. So you could take this in cold weather. Just know it's not enclosed, but it will have those heat pads. The other difference is this box is 7.5 feet wide, whereas on the Flagstaff, it's going to be 8 foot wide. The interior height, I think it's like 6 foot 6 inches, whereas on the microlights and up, it'll be 6 feet 8 inches. So mainly it's the size, the underbelly, and that's it. You're still going to get 200 watts of solar. You're still going to get that vacuum bonded, double aired composite, 6-side aluminum framed. Hey, Power Pro, turn the lights 100% on.
All lights are on 100%.
That's the other thing that you get on the E-Pro versus the microlight, which I'm more of someone that just wants to push a button, which you can just push the button, but I guess it'd be cool if you're sitting at the bed, you don't feel like getting up and walking 2 feet. You could just yell at the AI. I'm young, but I don't like all the technology stuff too much. Pretty nice. No, you could get it even on used RVs. What's crazy though is you can't do it. It doesn't apply to like automobiles or anything like that. It's just literally it says recreational vehicles only. So it is really a nice rule that they came up with here. Pretty nice. Porcelain throne, master chef. What the heck am I saying? Shower miser. But look, this is what I like to show you is this is a lot tighter. Look at that. You could see maybe like that much. It is a lot tighter. So if you are taller, because I'm not the tallest guy, I am 5'7", you know. So I mean, I could live with this with my height. It's just if you are taller, it does make it difficult. You might need to jump up to a microlight. And then it has like a little rounded shower enclosure, so it helps a little bit with the shoulder space. See, I had a question. Do you know if there's a significant advantage to staying around 25 feet versus 30 feet? Yeah, so I'll show you a lot of these trailers. They'll put it at like 29 feet, 8 inches. Like they'll be right under 30 feet. Usually 30 feet is where all of the national parks, or not all of them, a lot of them get a little picky. So if you're under 30, you should be good. You should be good to go. I'm someone that likes 25 foot. We'll go look at a 25 foot after this. We have time. And I'll show you. I like 25 foot. I actually like 28 the most. 28 feet I think is perfect. I'll show you a 28 foot after this. 28 I think is the perfect size to give you a little more storage, but it's still well under that 30 foot, or kind of really well under. But how sweet is this? It's like a microlight layout in an E-Pro. Super cool. And it's a 30 amp with 2 ACs, and they're 10,000 BTU. So that's pretty neat. 30 amp with 2 ACs. One of my subscribers told me, I don't know how they did it. They did something with like tying it into the water heater or something crazy. I didn't know. He knew more than I did about it. You got linen storage in here. Overall, nice layout. I would think it would be awesome if they figured out a way to put theater seating in here. That would be pretty nice. Huh? Right there. But overall, nice layout. Let's see what the price is on this bad boy. $35 down to $31,995. And the other difference is you're not getting an oven, you're getting a convection. So your stovetop isn't Magic Chef and your oven isn't. Whereas on the Flagstaff Microlight, you will be getting all that Magic Chef stuff. Woo! Ooh, I'm sweating. Getting parched. Again, if you're new here, leave a comment. It's always exciting to see new people on here. And again, if I deserved it, if you could jump on Google, type in Albuquerque RV and leave a review for me, it goes a long way. Let's go check out a 27-foot. And I actually said that this is my favorite layout as of recently. This layout, if Flagstaff could just do this layout, it would be my favorite Flagstaff. My favorites change every single month though, because I see so many trailers, but I think this layout is just perfect. And I like the length. Like I said, for some reason, like I really like 25, but 28 really does help give you a little extra room. A lot of things I like about this particular floor plan, and I will let you know what it is. The Surveyors are going to be really light compared to a Flagstaff, and that is because kind of the materials, like the countertops and stuff like that, will affect that. Let me go around. So check this layout out. 205 RKLE. A trailgate bar. So you got the bar right here. Pretty neat. Surveyor. So Surveyor, NOBO, Ibex, Unmapped, RPod are all going to come out of the same factory. So that's why they look super similar. So that is kind of one of the reasons we didn't pick up Unmapped, even though I wish we would have still. But because their Surveyors coming out with a lot of the same floor plans, they would have been competing brands. And then that's when you start having customers get like super confused with the differences. This is going to be, oh, it's 27 feet. Maybe I like 27 the most. 5,865 pounds, and your cargo is 1,700. You would never put 1,700 pounds of cargo. That'd be crazy. But check it out. One thing about this layout is travel mode is nearly perfect. Like if you want to move these chairs, you can access the entire trailer, no problem. And then if we come down here, I'll show you this real quick because the last one was out. But look at how neat this is. You got a bar right here, and then you have the table that will actually slide out. What? How cool is that? You could even bring this up or bring it down. But this table would be like a must if I bought any type of travel trailer nowadays, because it's so nice to be able to put that out of the way and have all the floor space, but still have the versatility to have a nice place to eat. You know, you're kicking back with your significant other, you want to face each other, or if you're driving each other nuts, you don't want to face each other, you could put this in. You have the bar, nice window, got the taco stand, 2 air conditioners. Such a great floor plan. I kind of say it, Flagstaff might have the better interior than Rockwood. I just like the color schemes. It looks real good. And then I've been getting this complaint. It's weird. Complaints come all at once. Like all within 1 month, I'll hear it, and I haven't heard it for like 6 years. This Flagstaff doesn't allow you to put that middle console up like this. I wish Flagstaff would allow you to put this up, because sometimes you want to cuddle up. You know, you could throw that up. And let's face it, you're not going to be double fisting some cold snacks. You don't need 4 cup holders. Well, maybe you do, but you could throw that up and get nice and comfy. You even get some nice wall art in here. Let the journey begin. Overall, nice layout. You get an oven. TV is facing perfectly. Like, I can't pick out anything wrong with this layout. Look at that. It's not too high. It's a little higher, but not bad. Then lots of counter space. Think about all these things that I'm saying that's good about it. Tons of counter space, plenty of storage for all your kitchen appliances and utensils. Nice big fridge. Now there is always a sacrifice. You know, you get a lot of counter space, you get more kitchen space, but your bathroom is a little bit smaller, which is not bad. This is not bad. Look at this. I could recline my legs up if I wanted to, and then turn you around. I'm already sweating. See, it's not terrible. You don't have to be ambidextrous on this one. You could do left or right. And then the shower is not bad. I would personally prefer, you know, maybe the smaller bathroom versus, you know, having it take up more of my living space, because you're not going to be in here forever. I'm the last person that should say that. I get home after working and talking forever, I'll just go sit in the bathroom or sit in the backyard alone. My girlfriend already knows when I get home. She don't get mad at me, but I kind of need to decompress for like 2 hours and just ponder my thoughts. But pretty nice. It's a lot of talking. And a lot of you guys, you know, when you meet me, you're going to be like, holy smokes, Tyler is a little different in real life. I'm really quiet. I'm kind of an introvert. Like, everyone at work thinks I'm like the weirdest salesperson ever. I am not I'm very quiet. So it's really funny when people come in and then I'm like super laid back. I'm like calm. It's just, I get excited when I'm showing stuff to you guys. You know, I'm fine with the thermofoil. The plastic sink is more of an issue to me. It drains very slowly. I'm going to mainly clean my dishes with a spray bottle. Hey, Ginger, I think you can replace it with you should be able to replace it with the stainless steel sink. You can modify RVs endlessly, so it's pretty easy. Nice big sink right here. Overall, what do you guys think? Is this the best layout I've shown so far? It's pretty nice. That's the winner right there. This whole section right here is the best. And I love the placement of the TV, the counter space, the cabinetry. It is just winning. 60 by 80 queen size bed. So it is a true queen. Are you new here? I don't think I've seen your name before. If you are, welcome. I'm super pumped when I get new people here. It is a nice floor plan. Oh, and I'll show you the price. 56 down to 42,995. I've already explained how pricing works here, so if you want to replay the video, I go in depth with how kind of pricing works here and at other dealerships. Also, when you're out getting pricing online and stuff, I always tell you guys this, because I had a customer here earlier, and man, the internet has made it so difficult for just everyone, because what happens is, you know, they'll show you a price on the internet and then it'll change whenever you go or whatever. The one thing you want to do when you're getting pricing from any dealership, and I won't mention names about one of them, but they'll text you a price and then it's not legit or not taxes or anything like that. What you want to do is you ask them, I want a buyer's order, an out the door price with a buyer's order, because that is a legal binding document. So if they try to do any shisty stuff, you pull that paper out and you say, this is the price you gave me. This is a legal binding document. You have to sell it to me for this price. So just always do that, because I had a customer here today and it sucks for me. I told him this because it's not fair, but and I understand you need to save as much as you can. I'm not saying that, but what happens is I do all of the work. I show all the trailers. I teach them all of the information on each RV, but then they just go online, find one cheaper, and then the other sales guy that literally had to do absolutely nothing gets the reward out of it. So just let me at least try. At least give me the opportunity to try to at least, you know, match the price or get as low as I can. But I understand wanting to get a good deal, but it just sucks when I do all the work, teach everyone everything, and then they just go and some lazy salesperson that did absolutely nothing gets the sale. It drives me nuts. Sorry, I didn't mean to have that spiel. All I'm saying is give me a shot. I'd appreciate it. If this had the aluminum framing, I would like it. Yeah, exactly, David. And only the second time catching the live. Awesome. That is good to hear. Yeah, we usually, if you're new right now, I never miss a live. I think I went like 29 weeks or no, 27 weeks, but it was winter time when I started this. And during the winter, I will never miss. So nowadays, if this is what I always tell people, if you're coming on the live, I go on every Sunday, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But obviously I'm a full-time salesperson. That's how I make my living. So if I'm with a customer, I'll go on as soon as I finish. But if it's after 4, then that means the live is canceled just because I won't have enough time to really help you guys, show you the lot and stuff. So just keep that in mind. I try to come on every week, and hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you could leave a review, it makes my day. I get done with my run and I relax in the bathroom. Just kidding. And I get to read all the positive reviews. I love when I can help you guys. Like I said, if you want to get my cell phone number, just call in. I already told her to give out my number, and whether you buy from me or not, I'm happy to let you know if a trailer's good or what I think. And again, like I said, we could order you any unit you want. Well, the brands we carry usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get it in, and I will discount it as if it were here, factory fresh. I mean, you saw that Flagstaff we had for 3 days, already had a $15,000 discount. That's a lot for a unit that hasn't been here long. So I'll work with you guys. Just give me an opportunity, give me a shot. That's all I ask. I just need a fighting chance. And so, yeah, I hope you guys have a good evening. It's my Friday, so I'm off Monday and Tuesday. And if you can, real quick, hit that like button somewhere where it's at, the little thumbs up. I'll give you a second to do that, because that will push this video out to more people that may need my help. Because there's a lot of reviewers out there, that they're very vague with how they kind of show you stuff. I try to give as much info as I possibly can. So you guys have a good evening. Thank you all so much for joining, and we will see you next week. Time to have a cold snack.